You're entering the Pat Mayo Experience.
Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog Valspar Championship Picks, Bets, one and done. Geoff, we've already recapped the Players' Championship in another video. If people are listening to this on the audio feed, that's all part of the same show. So bonus for you guys. You know what I did release this weekend, during the rain delay of the Players' Championship?
A research show.
I really released the research show, but I also released an article that's in the newsletter right now. It's also up on X. It is the strategy guide for the best ball major only draft. There is a Pat Mayo Experience open up there right now. It's like almost half full already. So I haven't even drafted a team in it yet, but it's a 10 max $25 entry, $3,000 to first, $20K guaranteed, and you only draft the major. So I released my strategy article for that, and I sent you that handy list this weekend. I don't know if you did any drafts, but I sent it to you.
No, I didn't draft, but I will. I love the major draft. I'll head to Buffalo or something. I will be in the major draft.
Yeah, so
I crushed it last year. I got to get back in.
Yeah, the list basically just has the three things to understand about doing these major drafts, and it has a list of all of the players and which majors that they're actually playing in, which players are in all four, all three. And there's a bit of confusion between the PGA Championship because they just don't let people qualify for them outside of very particular rules until you get really close to the PGA Championship. For example, like Corey Connors is not in the PGA Championship right now, but he will be in the PGA Championship. If that makes sense.
Very strange.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, it's just weird stuff that they do for the qualification period. We're here to talk about the Valspar. Let's jump in. Do you know who the betting favorite is? I spoiled this on the first part of the show. Tommy Fleetwood, your boy. He is the betting favorite at this tournament. He's tied with Justin Thomas as the co-favorite. After that, you got Xander. Xander's as low as 20 to 1 in some spots now. Straka, Connors, Lowry, Zal, Akshay, Tom Kim. That is your 30 to 1 and below. Sam Burns is at 22 to 1 as well. Is there anyone from that list you really like?
Did you go up to 30 there?
Yep.
Yeah, for me, I mean, Tommy being... I think, honestly, Pat, within an hour, Tommy will no longer be the favorite of this tournament. But as for the bets that I don't mind, the ones that I'd be staring at, did I think it's possible Shane Lowry withdraws because he's been golfing so much? Yes. Will Zalatoris, 28 to 1. Corey Connors, 25. I like losers. So those would be if I were to bet lower, those are the guys I'm looking at.
Zal and Connors were the two that really stuck out to me as well. I'll probably end up going with Michael Kim again to see if he can get it back on track. I love Valspar. If you checked out the research show, you saw me play it, the Snake Pit on the sim. It's just a very difficult tournament. Like it's a par 71. It's much longer than people think. The par 3s are incredibly difficult. They're super long. One of the par 5s isn't really a get there in two par 5s. So it really does test every part of your game. So a very strong tee to green game. The one thing that you do notice at this course, which I think helps Corey Connors out a little bit, it's not incredibly difficult to chip from the rough here. Like if you miss in the right spots, which Connors is good at, outside of, I think, number 13 at the Players when he short-sided himself in that bunker and ended up getting plugged, and that was just the end of his day. I just feel like you can kind of go into neutral, get your birdies where you can, don't give them up. I mean, this tournament is actually like the first time I really remember Connors coming onto the scene. It was that year that Tiger played this tournament. He was in contention. I think Casey ended up beating Reed in the end, but Connors was in the final group or second to final group with Snedeker, and it was just an electric tournament. And now that they've taken away the heritage from me and made it a stupid signature event, I think this is my favorite tournament of the year now.
Speaking of, we bet Graham Dillette here a lot. This is where we thought he would get that maiden win. He was close a few times. A lot of Sunday leaderboards, just, the Connor stuff brings that up. This being your favorite event. Yeah. Heritage is elevated. I always enjoy it. This was a bad memory last year. Last year didn't go great for me. And it was nothing like, you see some of the beats people had this year, like Putt Geeter and Buddy Off a Tree. But damn, Cam Young, I'm like 33 to 1 here last year. I think I have a screen grab. He was minus 400 live on 17T on Sunday. Malnati was in trouble, got the free drop, and then I lose to a fucking yellow ball. Cam Young still sucks.
You're going to say, it's not Malnati who didn't win that for you, or who took it from you. It's
No, I know, but it's
betting
just
on Cam Young, this is how it turns out.
Clearly, and now it seems like he's in a dark passenger space these days. I saw we had a weekend Cam Young, Carson Young 2-ball.
It didn't go well for either of them.
Where Michael came up to 40, I guess maybe you still got to ride that. I'd be maybe tempted to dip a little further on a couple guys, though.
Yeah.
Just behind him.
Who would be the guys behind him that you would like? I'm going to roll with Michael Kim. I think he's going to get a win soon, and he needs to continue to play well to get himself into the Masters because he's number 53. I haven't seen the update yet. He came into last week at number 52. He missed the 3-footer on 17 on Friday, did not make the weekend. I think if he makes the weekend, he ends up inside the top 50 in the world overall. But, I mean, he's very close. Like, one more good event will do it for him. Like, who is it behind him that you do like, though? Curious. It's a strong field.
Just that I'd potentially want to swim around. You mentioned like the difficulty of this place. He did miss the cut last week, but Adam Scott, if the around the green here, like you mentioned, it could be a little bit easier for some of the guys that struggle sometimes. That would be one. And if I wanted to get crazy, Pat, I don't think you can win off this amount of miscuts. But I've not put red ink through Hovland.
Interesting. Why not?
On the surface, like it's horrible. And again, I don't want, I'm not going to, winning just seems really hard. But the putting has just been such a roller coaster of back and forth. Like lose 4, make 4. I just feel like it's such a fine line between like it steadies. And I think we're ready for it to steady, but winning on the PGA Tour, I respect current form too much to think I'd actually get there on the outright. But I don't think it's as far as bad as some people are making it out to be.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think it's as hopeless as some people are making it seem.
It's not good right now.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, around the green, the putting, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. Well, I don't think he's missed 3 straight cuts at good events, right? Yeah, look here. Genesis AP players. It's a hard outright bet. But I think there could be like money to be made on Hovland this week in other ways.
Trying to figure this out. So last year, and then it was Burns, the two. So it was Malnati, Taylor Moore one, and then it was Sam Burns, the 2 years before that. I'm just trying to see like what these guys did at the Players the week before to try to get a sense of how this all works out for them. So let's see. Both the guys made T26 for Sam Burns the week before he won the second time. And Valspar was actually played in April the time before because that was like a weird COVID. Still, it was 2021, so that was actually the week after the RBC Heritage. So the last 3 winners of this event all played the Players the week before. They all made the cut the week before, but none of them were really ever in contention. The name that kept popping out to me, and you want to talk about a guy I lose money on, was actually Shane Lowry.
Yeah, I just thought he might withdraw. I don't know why. I'm living in my own head, but he's played like 5 or 6 weeks in a row, and just thought that would be one. Even Bocce, I thought maybe pulls out potentially.
I mean, there's still time for a lot of these guys to pull out. The tournament, the Players just officially ended. Daniel Berger has already withdrawn, but he withdrew on Saturday before his round. I just take a look. I mean, maybe it's time for Akshay to go through. He's a very accurate player. He's going to hit his irons pretty well. He's putting the lights out right now, and it is an easier chipping course. Maybe I just back him here. It would be. It's funny because to protect the Masters' future, like is he going to use it all up? Like if he wins the Players, he's probably not going to win the Masters. Only Scheffler can really do that.
But don't you?
But I'd feel really pumped if he won Valspar. Like, oh, he's good to go for the Masters now.
Yeah, no, you want pressure reps, right? You want pressure reps. Like you need a bigger library of pressured reps. But I could be wrong on this. Isn't there some hardened road to winning the Masters trend that essentially you do have to win calendar year?
You have to win or have 3 top 10s from January on.
Okay.
It's one of those two things. You can't be. There's very few players who are playing awful who win the Masters.
No, I mean, listen, right? And some guys are playing awful, then they play well at the Masters, but they don't win. Just like think about Homa last year. But yeah, the way you describe the course, I don't know that I could actually bet it. But I don't think like a guy like Ben Ann would be a horrible bet this week.
He chipped in for eagle on one on Sunday. It's the only shot of Ben Ann that I saw from the fourth round. They just cut to him. It's like, oh, here's Ben Ann from 55 yards off the grid. It's like, well, he's shanking it 2 feet in front of him or it's going in.
Right, I'm just like sort of that consistent ball striking who you hope can find some putt luck, but you're sweating 4-footers.
Yeah, I actually liked Lowry Sunday at the Players. He actually played incredibly well coming down the stretch. So there'd be like him, Straka, who just blew himself up early and then got back on the wagon a little bit and actually closed and ended up coming T14, tied with like Fleetwood, Aaron Rye, those type of guys. Then you go down the list a little bit more. Like you have Taylor Moore, who's already won here. Poston's in the field, right? Poston actually played pretty well. Yeah, Poston's fine. He's only 45-1. That's no good. Who did I mention right before that? Why am I blanking on names? This is terrible news for me. I'm losing my mind right away. Straka. What's Straka's number this week?
He's in the 20s with Lowry, right?
Yeah, 22 is a bit steep. Him and Xander having the same odds is like, don't know how I feel about that.
So what do we make of Xander, though?
Yeah, he was bad. And I don't know if it was once he got to the weekend and made the cut on the number and then couldn't get it going early on Saturday, he's like, fuck it. I'm just hitting some shots out here. That's what it felt like.
He's behind on shots. He's behind on shots. So even if it was 77 of them, get him in. Trying to think. Historically, though, like Malnati, a clear outlier. And I remember last year was like long shots galore, it felt, for a period of time. But like historically, are there that many outliers here?
Trying to think. So let's go back in time and go through this. Malnati, Taylor Moore. You hit Taylor Moore here, as I recall.
Yes. Live. Oh, yeah. Great memory. Thank you, Pat.
That was he beat Spieth and Shank got up against the tree with the lead.
Yep.
And then then before that it was Burns and Burns. The 2 years before that it was Casey, and I hit Hadwin to win here. Spieth won here in a playoff over Reed and Sean O'Hare, and Chuck Schwartzel won here too. There's just good tee to green players overall. Like you can't have deficiencies in your game really anywhere tee to green. I mean, that's what ended up costing Keith Mitchell. Remember Keith Mitchell was running away with this tournament last year, and then he ended up hitting that drive. I think it was on 1 or 2 next to the car park.
And then I think and even just before the list, I think it's like Donald and Fowler, if memory serves.
Fowler's never won here.
Oh, maybe Fowler lost in a playoff to Donald.
Donald won like a 6-man playoff here in 2010 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I only know it because I hit it, but haven't had great luck here. But some amazing finishes. You reeling off those Casey ones remind me of Reed, like the one Reed choke job for us with a 3-putt on the last, and that was when like Tiger was coming back. That was such a fun Sunday.
Yeah, that was the Connors year. I just remember having Coke Rack here and him flubbing a chip on the 72nd hole to lose to Casey the second time.
Pure flushers.
Yeah, ball strikers.
Like Casey, you just mentioned these guys. I mean, Burns in his window.
But the guys that end up coming through and are there at the end who end up in the winner's circle, like you talk about. Connors comes up a little bit short. Kokrak comes up a little bit short. Dillette, who we always mention, like what are the 3 common things with all of these guys that come up a little bit short? They can't chip. Kokrak can't chip. Casey can. He's an excellent short game. Reed ended up losing. He's come second twice here. Excellent short game. Spieth, obviously. Burns, good short game. Taylor Moore, great short game.
So Shane Lowry.
That's where we end up coming back here. I mean, Justin Thomas, but...
yeah. I mean, geez, good points with that. Yes, okay. Red marker through Victor. Yep.
Not the best at chipping, old Victor Hovland.
Yeah.
So the guys to look at, like tee to green wise, top 20 right now on of the past 24 rounds on tour. Kitayama, Michael Kim, Bramlett, Gim, Damon, Fleetwood, Thomas, Berger, who's out, Straka, Rico Hoey, JT Poston, Lowry, Shipley, Nicholas Norgard, Moeller, Bud Cauley. I mean, this is actually a really good Bud Cauley course. Do you think he has anything left in him?
Yeah, for sure. I think he feels like $1 million. Like, sure, lost opportunity, but the bag of money, the bag of points. I think he beats 97% of the field. I think a guy like that feels quite good with himself right now.
Just trying to figure out who else it could be. Like Matt
Bez?
I don't think Bez is playing, is he?
No, yeah,
Bez is in the field.
National.
Yeah, Bez is in the field right now. I mean, he's 112th tee to green over the past 24 rounds. That's not good.
Could save with that short game.
Sure, but he also can't drive or hit an iron. That's still the premier thing that you need to be doing. So I don't know.
Yes, sorry, you got me thinking short game, and I forgot about the flushing aspect of winning here.
Yeah, like that's still number one when it comes down to it. Like, it's shocking that Taylor Moore ended up winning because he's so bad with his irons, but he's a great driver. He's a great chipper. It was able to figure it out and made a ton of putts that week. Sam Ryder is the other one to look at. I did this in the research show. But he's 30th in the model overall anyway. Plays these long par threes really, really well. And when you took a look at this field, were you shocked to see how strong it was?
Incredibly. Bored in the airport, I went to the PGA Comms Twitter to read the field, and like within the first line, I was taken away by it.
So Ryder ended up coming T14 at the Players' Championship. But if you look at his best putting performances of his career, two of his top three are at this course from the past 2 years. He gained 10.6 strokes last year putting at the Valspar. He gained 8.1 the year before. He still hasn't finished better than 19th. He does have a third place finish at Valero, but not at Valspar. But for whatever reason, dude has these greens figured out. And if the ball striking comes along a little bit with him, I think he could be frisky from the bottom of the board. Like, he is, 175 to 1? That's going to be a bet for me. Look, I know we got a lot of male listeners out there, and that amongst us, hair thinning, very common. It's a very frustrating problem that many men deal with, from stress to nutrition to hormones and lifestyle. So many internal factors affect what you see on the outside. Luckily, Nutrafol is here to help. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For me, it's all preventative. If I can take this now, hopefully I'm not going to have to deal with any thinning down the line. But if you want to build a hair growth routine, it's simple. Purchase online, no prescription required, automated deliveries, and free shipping to keep you on track. Plus, with a Nutrafol subscription, you can save up to 20%. You'll have access to free naturopathic doctor consults, and a Headspace meditation membership is also included. So, start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering my listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Pat Mayo. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code Pat Mayo. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Pat Mayo. Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime force, and playoffs on the line golf with 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour. The playoffs are here Monday, March 17th. 1 seed LA versus 4 seed New York at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and ESPN+. Then Tuesday, March 18th, 2 seed The Bay against 3 seed Atlanta at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ESPN+. Tune in to catch all TGL playoff action. Keep up. It's golf.
I might make myself feel stupid here, but why didn't Matt Wallace play last week? He's not in the, like, he wouldn't have been invited into the players?
Oh, he down. He has no status left, man.
Yeah.
Because his win was at an alt event, so that has come up.
It's the meritocracy of it all, man. It's cruel.
So
Can be cruel.
did Clinton officially turn pro yet or not?
Yeah, I think he made the cut. He got the thing. I
Yeah,
think
he got his tour card, but has he
has
actually turned pro? Because if he turns pro, he loses his exemption into the Open and the U.S. Open.
I would be willing to think he might hold on to it and just try to win something,
Even if
get in and then.
That would be the move.
I hadn't thought about that.
Cam Young, 55-1.
What did he? No, I was going to say what he finished last week, but it doesn't.
Do you want to know what he finished last week? Well, what's your guess?
70th.
He finished 61st.
Okay. Are both Højgaards here?
Both Højgaards are in the field. Yes. When I did the underdog write-up about like guys to target, I like Nikolai more than I like Rasmus. I don't know why, but they're both in this field. But Rasmus is currently in the Masters and the Open, whereas Nikolai is currently in the Masters and the PGA Championship, and he's just playing better golf right now. Honestly, Rasmus Højgaard just has not been good. He cannot flush at all. His driving's bad. His irons are bad. Nikolai ended up missing the cut at the Players, but before that, he was averaging like 4.5 strokes on approach. He's putting it really well. Like maybe he is a look here. I keep betting him and losing anyway. Why not continue to reinvest?
I don't know. In this field, like I kind of would trust the ceiling of if you trust one of them to smash the irons well.
I could get there that way. It's just at the top, it's just very difficult because I don't love these numbers that are next to the guys' names.
I have a suggestion for you, Pat.
Okay.
I have a suggestion. Who you like at the top? Parlay with TGL.
Okay, so TGL is, as you heard in the ad, that there is the first semifinal is Monday night. The second semifinal is Tuesday evening. It's LA versus New York or whoever it is. Like, what are the current odds on LA? This weekend when I bet it was -135. There was a shot at DraftKings where it was LA to advance to the final was like -110, meaning they just win this game. So just bet that. Like LA is going to beat New York. Like they're by far the better team. There's 3 good teams on TGL. They're one of them. The other 2 good teams are playing each other. We'll see how that turns out. Hopefully our Bay GC can continue to roll over Justin Thomas and the Atlanta Drive. But LA versus New York, just take LA, man.
I am seeing -120 is the best number right now
Take
on
it.
LA.
It's a great number. I have it capped at like -250.
Yeah, it's over at DK, but -125 everywhere else. So like pretty much, it seems like you can get a pretty fair one. I saw our boys at the Bay where Min Woo's on the bench, right?
Oh,
the young guys hitting.
They put Min Woo on the bench. They're playing Lowry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
I saw Underdog tweeted that on the weekend. The roster.
Damn it! I really thought Wyndham Clark withdrew. Wyndham Clark withdrew from the Players after having a neck injury. It might be a neck injury. This, I don't know. It may have been a case of hitting it into the woods every single time and being like, fuck this, I'm out of here. But he's been the best player on TGL, so we need him for the Bay.
Hopefully the Bay can bring us home. Cash those futures.
It'd be very nice if the Bay was able to do that for us. Additionally, as Paul pointed out, who's been watching a ton of TGL, no one is better at putting in TGL than Billy Horschel. He makes every putt.
He's on Atlanta, right?
Yeah, so they're facing each other. So that's why I wanted Minwoo instead of Lowry. Like, Minwoo's been better than Lowry. Hopefully, Ludwig's had a lot of time to rest. So that was good. I'm glad he missed the cut, even though I bet on him to really secure these futures for us for the Bay. He needs to get himself ready for the TGL Championship. Paul.
Between his withdrawal at Pebble and his missing the cut last week, he's doing
Lowry's
good
in?
for getting ready for TGL.
We just said that Lowry's in.
What are we doing?
This I don't know. That's what Jeff says. I haven't seen it yet. But
I'll search the I swear on the Underdog Twitter feed, I saw it.
It's tough to find now, though, because it's really buried down the list. I do have an Underdog play for Monday evening, though. Xander, lower than 0.5 single holes won, with Sahith, lower 0.5 single holes won. This has been like the strategy that I've been taking. They only get 2 single holes each. If they tie both the holes, they go under. They lose both the holes, they go under. Hopefully they play each other and draw each of the holes, and then we're off to the races. But that pays 2.65 to 1 at Underdog right now. Code Mayo will get you a deposit bonus of up to $1,000, and then you can go check out the drafts that I have up on Underdog right now for major season and the rest of the season. You can draft with that bonus money, so I would highly suggest that you go do that. I even have an article up on X and in the newsletter right now if that's the way that you want to go. You seemed excited to say something, so please tell me.
Breaking news 8 minutes ago.
Okay.
From Underdog Golf, Minwoo Lee replaces Wyndham Clark Neck for the Bay's match on Tuesday.
It's bad news for the Bay. I mean, I like Minwoo getting in there. I don't like Wyndham Clark being out.
Yeah. So that's fresh.
Feel like this is rigged against all of our bets because they know there's so much future action on the Bay GC.
You're right.
Rigged. It's disappointing, to say the least. Oh, I have winners to give away. Thank you all for sharing around the shows, leaving the ratings and review. That contributed to how much that people checked out the show last week. I wish I would have just said, hey, bet Rory, like I wrote up and then didn't do because I'm an idiot. But hey, you live to fight another day. So the winners, we had a $500 winner, a $200 winner, and a Fantasy National year-long winner. You can reach me on X at the PME or Mayo Media Inc. at gmail.com in order to claim your prize. The winner of the year-long Fantasy National account is Asuna_1327. You won a free year of Fantasy National. So reach out to me because obviously that's not your Twitter handle or whatever it is. So just reach out to me and I'll get you to that. The $200 winner of the retweet prize is at Shaq Golf, SHAKGOLF, at Shaq Golf on Twitter. Congratulations, you won $200 cash. And the winner of the $500 cash commenter on YouTube, Vince Andrews. So, Vince Andrews, congratulations. Mayo Media Inc. at gmail.com to claim your prize or at the PME on Twitter. Thank you all again for sharing the show around. Good time to mention. Sub to Mayo Media Network and smash the like while you're here and give me your winner down in the comment section for this week. Have you felt like we've talked this out enough? Because I don't feel like I have a very good grasp on this week. I mean, maybe it's because the players got pushed into Monday and I'm still a bit frazzled from it, but I think I have a decent idea, but not a great one.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it. Other than guys that keep it like pretty tight and straight, and I feel like I'll live or die with what happens around the green.
Kind of want
the green.
Kind of want to bet Spieth. I'm not going to lie to you.
It feels like a nice spot. What are we seeing? 35?
35 is the best number I see right now.
Yeah. Not horrible. Like, this does feel like a nice place for him. I'm more inclined to... I'd rather bet Will Zalatoris at 28, I think.
Maybe. I do worry that this is the sort of tournament with the high score. Like, you can win this tournament at minus 11. That really feels like a Willie Z score.
Yeah, it honestly, it feels like a Willie Z, a Shane Lowry, and a Corey Connors score. So I'm going to have to make a decision. I lean Willie Z as my favorite. I just trust him more than Connors.
Okay, so I'll have my write-up coming out later on. I'll have 2 picks written up. I know which 2 are coming out with that. I'm going to, for the quick picks for the show, I'm going to give out Michael Kim at 45 to 1 and Sam Ryder at 175 to 1 with 8 places. And I'm circling around Akshay, Zalatoris, Lowry, and Connors. And then farther down, I might give Bud Colley a look. I might give Dietrich a look. And I may actually give Nikolai Højgaard a look. But I have to make those decisions. Don't want to be pressed into it, coming off losing $8 million at the Players. So I just want to take my time with this one a little bit.
Yeah, I don't mind any of that. We hadn't talked about Dietrich, but that was one. I don't know. I just seen him contend. Clearly not win at like these really tight European courses. Like, he's got a lot of second place finishes on those like compact European tour courses that I think he actually fits here. So I don't, and I'm a sucker for him. So I don't mind that. I'm going to bet Will Zalatoris. That's really all I know. And I have something embarrassing to admit. One of the first things I did on this board, Pat, was see how big the Danny Willett number was.
Was it 8,000 to 1?
It was 1,000 to 1 without places and 750 to 1 with places.
I'd probably want the places with Danny
Yeah,
Willett.
I think you would want the places. But just I just don't. I mean, I guess he's not in events. He just doesn't play a lot. I don't really know. I've already said too many words about it. So for me, it's pretty much just Willie Zalatoris. I don't know why I can't find this guy on the list though.
Who?
Is Kevin Roy in the field?
Yeah, Sexy Roy. He's 100 to 1. If you want a guy who can't chip and can't putt, you take Kevin Roy. It's like Carlton Fisk or whatever that guy's name is. That guy can't putt. It's outrageous.
Carlton Fisk.
It's not really Carlton Fisk. Steven Fisk, maybe? I watched him play in Puerto Rico. This guy, he's 300. Steven Fisk, he's 300 to 1. Although, if you do go to the newsletter and check out that Underdog article I have written up, you can get the Houston Open research show, which comes out this weekend, because obviously I'm at Pinehurst this weekend, so I won't be here to do the research show. So I did in advance, and Steven Fisk was a first-round leader there last year. He and
There he
Taylor
is,
Moore.
Steven Fisk, yeah.
This tournament and Houston have a lot of similarities to it in terms of how you play it. The biggest thing between this week and Houston, Houston's super long, it's super challenging, it's difficult to get it up and down, but guys who spray the ball around are generally fine in Houston. You can miss the fairway wherever you want. The fairways are also double the size at Houston of what they are this week. It's only 20 wide fairways this week in terms of yardage.
Yeah, it's just tight. Adam Scott too. I spoke about it briefly, but yeah, Willie Z, Adam Scott. That's what I like.
Bridgman was the only other one from down the list that I was looking at, but officially I'm in on Michael Kim and Sam Ryder. Like I said, 45 and 175 to 1 brings us to the one and done for this tournament. Where do you want to go with here? Cust has selected. Guess who? He needs it.
JT.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay. Of all the Tommy, let's win a goddamn tournament, Tommy. Go get it with Cust on your back. I'll take.
Does this work out better for Fleetwood than anyone else? No one is going to bet Fleetwood this week as the betting favorite. I agree with you. He'll probably fall down the board. But wouldn't this be the ultimate Tommy win at 14 to 1 in a week no one bets him? And Cust is on him?
Yeah. And the only guy who's going to get whole is the guy who bet $0. Cust. And like I joked, maybe there's a couple people out there who've never bet on Tommy, and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna call my shot. I'm gonna call my shot. Be the only guy on this platform profitable on Tommy outrights. Good luck with that. Is it my pick or your pick?
It is your pick because Ludwig missed the cut on me.
I'll take Willie.
You'll take Willie Z. I'm going to go confirm that you have not used him as of yet. You have not used him as of yet. I am going to take Corey Connors.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What would be the numbers for you to get him to bet? If he's 24 to 1 right now, is that too low to bet Corey Connors?
Maybe, but hey, if they give you that 30% boost in a couple days, you can circle back around.
I'm not going to be. See, they usually activate that on Wednesdays, yeah. But I'm not going to be here. I mean, maybe if they give it to me, my flight's at 5 a.m. So maybe if they enact it by 3 a.m., that I can bet it then. But I'll be out of where I can use that boost region.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of thinking about Connors at 25, so he's already right. He's already kind of right around where I'd want him. When the books posted enhanced numbers, that would be one I'd be, maybe there's a 30.
It's enhanced right now to 24.
Oy, gosh.
We didn't talk about Thigala in that mid-range, Jagger, Novak, Bridgman. Like I said, Bridgman has my interest a little bit. He's playing good golf.
The gala just seems like it's too all over the map to do what would need to happen here. Jagger gets a case of the lefts, so that seems like a problem. Who's the third? No, Paul's boy. Honestly, of that group, Novak would be my favorite.
Novak's been bad, though. Like, really bad.
Since he was good, he's been bad.
Yes.
I just remember that he was good like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he was good at the Farmers, and then he was third at the Farmers, 13th at Pebble Beach. He was in the elevated event at Torrey Pines. He was 13th. And then he's gone miscut, 34th miscut. So Florida not treating Andrew Novak very well. So that will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. Congratulations to all the giveaway winners. And Geoff, there is no show with you and I. Well, there is a show with you and I next Monday. There is no preview show for the Houston Open next week. That will be next Tuesday. On Monday, me, you, and Cust will be having our major breakdown. We're going to go through each of the majors, have the bets that we have in, all the futures bets, break those down because I'm not going to be here, so I can't record the show.
Enjoy Pinehurst.
I will. I mean, I might have to set a score. I'm playing number 2 on the coldest day that we're there, and I'm playing it in the morning. So I'm probably playing from the whites, but I don't know. Like, what's a good score there? Like over under 110?
I would take 108. I'd run to dinner with 108.
Like how hard is it when it's not played as a U.S. Open? Like, how much different is it? Like, is it?
I have no clue. But I honestly, I'd sit there at dinner, enjoy my steak and beer, and with a 108, and be like, I don't think I came last place in the group. I would be okay with it.
All right. Well, that'll do it for me. Smash the like, give me your winner in the comment section while you're here, and sub to Mayo Media Network. Thank you all for watching. Let's go get a winner at Valspar, all right? So I can go pay for my trip. I'll see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!